afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Hong Kong Wine and Dine Festival on-air tastings organized by the Hong Kong Tourism Board. Huadiao and Qi are some of the best beverages with a long history in the East and the West. Have you ever tried doing a crossover on these two traditional beverages that could bring you an unprecedented new experience to the taste? Please join me for the tasting.
Bartending is a career where every single day brings a new challenge. You never stop learning because every day asks a new skill set from you, gives you a new problem to solve.
As the chief editor of Wine Lux, I'm the trendsetter for wine and spirit market in Hong Kong. Wine, whiskey, gin, sake. We create all the trends and bring in the newest and most trendy drinks to Hong Kong people.
Joining me here today on this beautiful afternoon is our two guest speakers. On my right-hand side is Alex, Beverage Development Manager of Tasting Group.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Alex. And we have Nelson here, Editor-in-Chief of Wine Lux magazine.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Alex and Nelson. Welcome and thank you for joining us and being the guest speakers for the second consecutive year. So happy to have you guys back with us this year. And of course, I would like to take this time to say hello to our online friends who have bought the tasting kits and are ready to join our tasting later. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So happy to see you all here today. Well, if you guys have any questions during the tasting, feel free to join us for the Q&A section at the end. And of course, you could send us questions through the chat box and our two guest speakers will be more than happy to answer them for you. Well, I'm very, very excited to be here today because at this beautiful venue, as you can see, and you probably already knew that this place is a former, old Marine police station. So as you can see, it's very chill, very cozy, and it's really nice how they've turned this place into a beautiful bar where you could have a drink with your friends and take pictures. And so you guys should come here and check it out yourself. And we're really thankful to be able to have this on-air tasting here today. So back to our theme today. Our on-air tasting theme today is East meets West. So let me pass the time to Alex first and introduce the tasting kits for us. Alex, please.
Absolutely, guys. So inside your kits, ladies and gentlemen, we should have a few items. First of all, the spirits that we have today, we have a bottle of lovely gin named Langley's No. 8. And you should also have a bottle of Chinese Huadiao. It's a little lovely jade bottle right here. On top of that, we got some tools inside your kit. You got a shaker, a two-piece shaker, and it comes in two tins, a small and a large. You should have a small strainer, which will keep the ice inside your shaker as you pour the drinks out, and a muddler. This is used for crushing objects inside your shaker tin, and of course a measuring cup, also known as a jigger, with a small and a large side.
Great. Thank you, Alex. And for those of you who still want to purchase these tasting kits, they are $600, and you could buy them from our website. So buy now while stocks last. Thank you so much. Well, before we start chatting with Alex and Nelson, perhaps we should do a little survey, a little poll with our online friends and get to know each other a little bit more. So I want to see a show of hands. How many of you like Huadiao more than gin? How many of you like Huadiao more than gin? Okay, we got Andrew. Oh, okay, we got two people raising up their hands. Okay, let me come to Andrew, who raises his hands first. Andrew, why do you like Huadiao more than gin?
Because I really love seafood, and a warm glass of Huadiao with seafood brings you to heaven.
Oh, I like that. And you just like that little warmness that it gives you, right?
Especially in winter.
Great, thank you, Andrew, for sharing with us. So I assume the rest of you like gin more than Huadiao. Who wants to share a thought about that? Who likes gin more than Huadiao? Maybe Catherine? Catherine, you like gin more than Huadiao?
So actually, I never tried Huadiao, so I couldn't give any comment on this. So I only tried Huadiao on dishes, so never tried it in like really a pure like cocktail or something. So I may vote for gin. For gin is like more like usual drinks that I can get in the bar. So yeah.
Great, thank you for sharing with us, Catherine, and you get to try the Huadiao today, so you could share more about that later on today. Well, like I said, the theme is East meets West, and I would like to know, why do you have this idea, Alex? Why do you have this idea of having these two together?
Well, I think we're in Hong Kong, and I think it's one of those super international cities where, you know, the East meets West, obviously every day, the modern and traditional. I think a lot of people here can relate to that kind of combination, that synergy, that everyday mingling. And of course, the cocktail made in Hong Kong should have that, some kind of characteristic.
Yes, definitely. Very interesting, and we are all looking forward to it. And I think we've waited long enough. Should we start the tasting, Alex?
Absolutely, guys. So why don't we start tasting the gin first, if that's all right?
Okay.
So we're gonna crack open this lovely bottle of gin. And when you're tasting spirits, not just gin, but any kind of high-proof alcohol at all, you want to maybe start off with just smelling it first.
Okay. So for our online friends, do you have your glass ready? Have you poured your gin already? Let me see if you have your glass ready. Yes, you could do the tasting with us at the same time.
Absolutely. Once you have a little bit in your glass, just like swirl a little bit and just kind of give it a nice gentle whiff.
So let's smell it first. Refreshing.
Absolutely, yeah. You get a lot of that lemon, a little citrus, but also beyond that, you have a nice earthiness as well, which really complements that freshness. That earthiness is from juniper berries, and that's a signature ingredient that any gin should really have. It's a nice, rich, resinous. So once you have a good understanding of that kind of nose, the aroma, you can take a small sip and just keep it in your mouth just 1 second, very brief, and then swallow.
Okay, keep it for 1 second.
So guys, once you have that in your mouth, what you're gonna have is a big kind of creamy juniper flavor. And then as you swallow, the flavor changes. That's called the finish. And that finish is, for this gin, is a really lovely black pepper, little spice. It's really nice and warming, especially great for this cold weather now.
Yes, I'm quite awake now with this gin in my mouth. How about Nelson? What do you think about this?
I think this one is a really signature London dry gin, and I feel the aroma and aromatic flavors is really good, really attractive. I love it.
Right. Let's hear from our online friends. How do you guys like this gin? Yeah? Do you like it? How about Ken? Would you like to share your thought on this with us?
Yeah, refreshing this, especially for this morning time. Yes, make me awake. Yeah.
Great, right. You love it, right?
Yes, I like it.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken. Thank you. And I would like to know, Alex, normally there's always stories behind, different wine. And is there any story behind this?
Oh, absolutely.
This spirit?
So the story of Langley's Gin starts with its two founders. There's Mark Dawkins and Mark Crawley. These two gentlemen were veterans of the spirits industry. They've been selling different spirits, different companies for years and years. And then they had the idea to start making the most smooth and mixable gin in the world. And they came up with their core product, the Langley's No. 8. They also make two other versions, a Old Town, which is slightly sweeter, and their more premium version called First Chapter. And they do this by distilling in a copper still. That copper really removes any impurities, and you have a beautiful, well-balanced, rich spirit from a still, like that. Now, for Langley's, what they use is a mix of 9 traditional botanicals. Juniper is obviously the core, but things like orange peel, lemon peel, coriander, and of course, cardamom. These fresh flavors allow you to make cocktails both modern and traditional, and it's a beautiful, beautiful way to keep it all together.
Thank you, Alex, and it's always nice to know the story behind. Thank you, Alex, for sharing that with us. And actually, I always have this question in mind. I've got to ask this with Alex, the expert here. We often hear about dry gin and gin. Are they the same, or what are the differences?
No. So gin, if you just say just gin, it's a larger category and it covers a lot of different products. But London Dry Gin is one of those things which is a higher level of categories. So you have higher requirements. You have to have practically zero sugar. And any flavor inside the gin has to be achieved through distillation only. So some cheaper products might use natural essences and just add it to the gin after it's all done. but London Dry Gin is a more high-level way of making gin.
That's great to know the answer today, to find out the answer. Thank you, Alex. And I see that not only me have questions, I have Nicole from the chat box and having these questions for Alex. Any simple cocktail recipe for gin?
Absolutely. Gin is really very versatile, but gin can be used to make pretty much any cocktail. The martini is probably the simplest, but if you have any kind of lemon juice and a little bit of sugar or even honey, throw this together with gin and you have something basically called a gimlet. Add some soda, and then now it's a Tom Collins. Very simple drinks that are very refreshing, great any time of year.
Okay, great to know that, and thank you, Nicole, for your questions. So I think after tasting the gin, we're ready for the spirit from the East, the Huadiao. Are you guys ready to go? Let's pass the time to Nelson.
Yeah, so actually we're going to try the Huadiao today, and this is a really special and high quality Huadiao. So let's pour the Huadiao first.
So for our online friends, you can start pouring the Huadiao out and have your glass ready.
And you see the color is really nice. Wow.
So as you can see, yes, the color is beautiful.
Yes, beautiful. So let's take a look on the yellow wine, the Huadiao first. Wow, the color is caramel, a little bit orange, and it's really clear.
Yes.
So let's have a smell. Wow. Pretty good with the rice flavor, with a little bit caramel, and maybe some of you guys will feel a little bit like the soy sauce.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
now that you mentioned.
Also making the same way the fermentation is similar, so you can feel a little bit like soy sauce. So let's have a taste.
Let's see.
Really nice.
It's very smoothing.
Very smooth and with a very nice rice flavor, a little bit floral flavor, and also nuttiness. And then this one, I think I recommend to taste in the room temperature because this is a very high quality Huadiao and you can taste the original flavor. Of course, some people may like to warm a little bit like 45 degree and you can taste it more easier and more smooth. And so it's also okay.
Yes. What do you think, Alex, about this Huadiao?
It's really lovely. I mean, those oxidative notes are really similar to things like sherry and also like yellow wine, which is a big trend in the wine world.
Yeah.
And for me, when I have this, I think of food automatically.
Yes.
I really want, for me, obviously, hairy crab is a very common combination, but for me, I'm thinking of like Iberical ham and things like pork belly.
Pork.
Yeah.
Yes, start to get hungry, right?
Yes.
And I really like how I normally like it warm, but when you drink this in room temperature, it's really nice how it brings out the flavors and stuff.
Yeah,
Let's hear from our online friends and see how you like about it. Maybe Carrie, because I saw you nodding your head earlier when you first tried it. Carrie, could you share your thoughts on this Huadiao with us?
I tried this last time, and that's exactly what he said is like soy sauce. But like when you drink it, and it's so smooth and it's different from the gin. The gin is like so spicy, like pepper, but this one is so soft.
Yes. So it's a totally different experience to drink the Huadiao. And I think when we talk about Huadiao, we often see that there are different years. So I would like to know if Huadiao tastes better with different age, or the older the better.
So
is that
actually,
right?
the Huadiao they evolving for many years. Like this one is 10 years, and we also have the 15 years, 18 years, and 25 years. And of course, I've tasted a really good Huadiao for 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's because it's inside the clay pot, so it's evolving and transforming every year. So it will become more and more smooth and also very rich.
So the older it is, the better quality, I assume.
Yeah.
But often we may not be able to afford, 30 years or 25 years Huadiao. What's the best ideal length for Huadiao when we go to a restaurant?
I think in the restaurant, this one, the 10 years is already really good. And of course, you have to choose a good one. But this one, I think, is a very high quality. And 10 years is very good for pairing the food.
Well, I see that Gawai is enjoying the Huadiao really a lot. So Gawai, you want to share your thought about this? What do you think?
To be honest, this is my first time to try Huadiao. So it's amazing. It's sweet, yeah, a little bit like soy sauce, but also I taste the sweet, the sugar, and very smooth. It's quite amazing to me. It's a good chance for me to taste.
That's great. I'm glad that you like it, and it's your first experience with the Huadiao. I'm glad that you like it. Thank you, Gawai, for sharing with us. And we also have a question from the chat box. Patty, she would like to know, why do people put plum in it sometimes? I see that all the time, actually.
Yeah. So actually, sometimes we put the plum. It's just to cover up the poor quality.
Okay.
So sometimes the Huadiao is not that good. You put a plum and then you add some sweetened flavor. But I don't recommend with the good quality Huadiao. Okay. So in the old days, sometimes in Taiwan, I saw many people add the plum because at that time the Huadiao is not that good. But now we get some good quality, high quality Huadiao, no need.
Yes, so I think sometimes just the ladies like to like a little bit more of sweetness, and that's why they like to put the plum in. But for this one, we don't need to put anything in. It's good to just taste it straight. Well, so after tasting both the East and West spirits, we should put them together, shall we?
Absolutely.
Sure,
let's start
Alex?
making a cocktail. So friends online, before we get started making cocktails, make sure we have all the ingredients in front of us. So of course, the two spirits, the gin and the Huadiao, we're going to need today. But on top of that, we're going to need some orange peels, a little bit of fresh ginger, those will go inside the drink. And to garnish off, we will need a little bit of walnuts, and this should be inside your kit as well.
So what's the name of our cocktail today?
We're going to be making something called Old Town.
Old Town.
We really want to evoke that really old school image of colonial Hong Kong, where we have this kind of old mixing of Western and Eastern values. And this cocktail hopefully really exemplifies that.
So our online friends, are you ready to make your cocktail? Do you have all your ingredients ready in front of you? Yes?
All right, perfect.
Great, let's follow through.
Okay, so first things first is we grab one of our shaker tins. You can use a small end if you like. And then inside that, we're gonna pop the orange peel and the ginger. So for the ginger, you need about 5 grams. I'm making 2 portions today, so I'm doing double that. So about 5 grams is enough for 1 portion.
Okay.
And then you're gonna need a long strip of orange peel, and we're gonna pop that inside. Now the orange peel is kind of a substitute because this drink is actually based off an old-fashioned, hence the name Old Town. But instead of bitters, which most bars have, but most homes don't, we'll be using some orange peel to release those bitter flavors and to give us some orange flavor. So take your muddler now and just crush up that the ginger and the orange real nice so you release all those juices and all those oils, right?
How are you guys doing? Great, they all have the crusher ready. Let's crush it together.
Very good, guys. Release your stress this way. That's perfect for that.
Yes. So just press it hard on there.
Absolutely right. It doesn't have to be pulverized, but if it's nice and kind of broken up, that's all good already.
You doing all right, Carly and Melody? Yeah?
All right, perfect. Now, next step, guys, is to put our liquid ingredients in. Now, you can use your measuring cup. It comes with a small side and a big side. We're going to be using only the small side for this one. The top of the line for that small side is about 30 mils, which will be adding a bit of our gin, 30 mils of that. So again, I'm doing a double portion today, so that's 60 mils to me.
So 1 portion for our online friends, for the gin.
And we're doing exactly the same amount of the Huadiao.
Great, I see that everyone is following really well. Now it's the Huadiao.
Very good, guys.
How's everyone doing? Good? After tasting both gin and Huadiao separately, we're gonna try mixing them together.
Absolutely.
What else do we need now?
Last thing we need is a little bit of honey for sweetness. You can use probably the best honey you can find. Quality does really matter a little bit. But you don't need very much. This is an old-fashioned style drink, so it's gonna be quite dry. So just add about 5 mils. You can use a small amount of your measuring cup if you want, or you can use the bar spoon that is also in your kit. You want about 2 bar spoons if you can use that. If you're going to use the measuring cup, like maybe 1/5 or 1/10 is enough for you guys.
Right. With a little bit of honey flavor in our drink.
Absolutely.
That would be lovely.
So the idea here is that normally old fashions are made out of whiskey, but with the incorporation of the Huadiao and the gin together, you have this rich botanical flavor, and also the kind of nutty notes from the Huadiao that's very similar to actually a lot of Scotch whiskies. So this all together makes a very similar cocktail to an old fashioned. How are we doing, guys? Does everybody have all the ingredients inside?
All ready to mix it up?
Very good.
I see Ken is putting some honey in there right now.
Nice,
Fresh
nice.
from the jar. Great, are we all ready to mix them up?
Yeah, very good. So if you guys have the ingredients inside, you can start by putting ice in your glass. Just chill that down.
Okay. Nice and cool, so get your ice ready in our glass. All right.
And also you can put ice inside your shaker with all those ingredients.
I think that way it's getting ice, Simon is getting ice, Melody's getting ice. They're all getting their ice ready.
Perfect, perfect.
Yes, so we
Ice
quite
is so
a lot
important.
of ice. Yeah.
Exactly. If, of course, your freezer doesn't have that much ice inside, you can always feel free to add a little bit of water, like 30 mils of water, and then keep it inside the freezer and let it chill down, and it'll be just exactly the same, right?
So maybe chill down for like 30
Yeah, 30 minutes, yeah. It's one of those things where you do things in advance to save the planet, right?
Right.
So once you have all your ice inside your shaker, get your bar spoon and give it a nice stir. What you want to do is keep stirring until there's a little bit of condensation on the outside of your shaker. That's when you know the cocktail is nice and cold.
Yeah, I see everyone stirring. You doing
Very
okay?
good, guys. All those bar spoons moving.
Yes. Very nice.
All right, cool. Once you have that all stirred up and well mixed in, you can take your strainer, cover your shaker, and then start pouring it into your glass.
All ready to go. Let's pour it out and try it in
All
a
right,
second.
lovely, guys. Let's have a nice look at this.
Wow, look at the color.
A very rich golden hue, right?
Yes, yellow, goldish color.
But we're not done yet, guys. So inside your kit, you have walnuts for garnish. What I'm gonna do, just because I have one available, is I'm gonna toast the walnut a little bit, just to release that little bit of flavor. If you have a lighter or a torch, all you need is just a very quick exposure to the flame, not very long. And what we're doing is just toasting the outside, just like that, to get some color on top.
For like one second, 2 seconds.
Barely even that.
Wow, beautiful.
And if you have extra orange peel left over, feel free to use that for a splash of color and give it a nice pop of flavor.
So how's everyone doing on the garnishing? Putting in the walnut and the orange peel if you have the extra ones there. Yeah, as you can see,
Let's see your cocktails, guys.
this is the final look of our Old Town. Beautiful.
Very nice. Nelson, this one's for you.
Thank you, Alex. So let's show us your drink, everyone. How does it look? How does it smell so far? We're gonna taste it together in just a second. Wow, beautiful. Is everyone ready to try it together? Beautiful. I see you guys using different glass. Okay, ready? Let's try it together. 1, 2, 3, cheers.
Cheers.
Let's try it. Wow. This
Very
is
nice.
really out of my expectation. I love it. I could taste the Huadiao and gin at the same time. And that chemistry together is just very surprising.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I love it. I love it. How about you, Nelson?
So actually, I think this one is a mix of the East and the Western spirit with a very good flavor, and also I think the walnut bring out some nuttiness of the Huadiao.
Yes.
It's really nice.
Let's go to our online friends and see what you think about your drink. The drink that you make yourself. How about Charlie? Charlie, you have any thoughts to share with us about your Old Town?
I think it's quite surprised when two ingredients combine together, and I'm like loving it. This is a surprise, and I would like to try it by myself next time.
Yes, you could actually ask your friends to try it, and you could serve your friends next time, right? Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. Let's go to Melody as well. Melody, what do you think about your Old Town cocktail?
I think the flavor is really special since I never tried this flavor in any cocktails before. So it is very smooth and it's out of my expectation as well, because just now when I taste the wines, I don't know they can mix up so well. So it's really tasty, and I will just share the recipe with my friends, or I will make them.
Yes, you definitely should try it again and serve your friends. I think they will love it as well. Thank you, Melody. And let's go to Carly too. Carly, what do you think about this cocktail?
I like it. I like the taste of the Huadiao, and the gin is done spicy, and I like the same taste, but I like it warm.
You like it warm?
I want to warm it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's possible too.
I'd like to try.
Yes.
Yeah. Add some hot water instead of ice.
Yes, and you could try, maybe it's a totally another experience with,
yes, absolutely,
with that.
Yeah.
So thank you for the inspiration, Carly. We could try that later on with warming, the drink. Thank you, Carly, for sharing that with us. Thank you so much. I think we all love this drink so much. But while we continue to enjoy this drink, we could have Alex to have another cocktail demonstration for us as he has prepared. So another showtime for Alex?
Absolutely. Let me get my ingredients first.
So Nelson, have you ever tried mixing these two together? It's your first time, right?
This is my first time, and I think it's very interesting to mix the Chinese spirit with the gin. I think it's a very nice idea and bring out some surprise.
Definitely.
Much, yeah.
So for this cocktail here, what's the name for this, Alex?
So we're calling this Unlikely Suspects because this cocktail includes a second Western spirit as well. And it's a very unusual combination, but if you think about it, for me, it makes perfect sense. So to go through the ingredients, we use the exact same gin and Huadiao as before, but we also use on top of that some same honey, some cantaloupe juice, and then also a little bit of lemon juice for freshness. And the second spirit that we're using is whiskey, Scotch whiskey. So it's a nice space side is what I'm using today.
Okay, so let's get started.
All right. So this one is a shake and drink. So basically what we want to do is we're going to take a shaker again. You guys don't have the ingredients, so you don't have to follow along. But if you do have, if you're taking down notes, you're welcome to do it anytime you have the ingredients available, right?
Yes.
So we're going to add in our spirits. So this is 20 mils of gin, 20 mils of Huadiao.
It's also a great combination of both West and East spirits, right?
Yes, I think so. In this case, this was inspired by that classic appetizer with melon and iberico ham. You know how I mentioned that the Huadiao reminds me of I Want to Have Ham?
Right.
In this case, the cantaloupe is that kind of is the melon that pairs that really, really well.
Yeah.
Now we want 15 mils of honey, 15 mils of lemon juice, and a good amount of this cantaloupe juice, 45 mils of this, in fact.
I'm loving it already. I love this fruit.
Yeah. I have the whiskey here. I know I haven't put it in yet, but don't worry, I'll leave that till later. I'm gonna add ice to my shaker and my glass first.
So we also need a lot of ice for this.
Absolutely. Close the shaker, and then give it a good shake.
Showtime! I see where all your muscles come from, even though you're covered up with your suit.
I do this every day.
Good exercise.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this up and pour it into the glass.
So, wow. I love the color, it's really beautiful.
Lovely.
Creamy orange color.
Absolutely. And then we're gonna add our whiskey now. So what I'm doing is I'm putting whiskey so it floats on the very top of the glass. And what this does, it gives you a nice kind of flavor difference. It's layering the drinks. So as you drink it, it changes the profile over time.
Wow.
And just to garnish, I have some nice rounds of cantaloupe to give it a little that pop of color as well.
Beautiful. Look at the color.
Absolutely. So this is the unlikely suspects. I think I'll give this to you, Nelson.
Nelson, yes. Please try for us and share your thoughts on this.
Really nice.
Wow.
Really good.
Yeah? Tell us more. We're eager to find out how the taste is.
With many layers of flavor. And of course, this one with the whiskey mixed with the gin and the Huadiao is really complex. I love the flavor. And I also love the fruitiness because you add a lot of fruits inside. It's really good. It's more complex than the previous one.
Of course, with the whiskey as well.
Yeah,
for the whiskey lover, they might like to try this one as well.
This one with the whiskey, and I have to mention, and actually this month, here in the cell, you can also come to try some really rare whiskey and vintage whiskey at the cell because we have a pop-up with the Wine and Dine Festival. It's called Whiskey Museum. So you can come to the cell and try different kind of vintage whiskey and a really rare whiskey you can try here. It's really, really interesting.
So for the whiskey lovers, you got to come here in November and try it and visit the Whiskey Museum. And of course, if you want to purchase this tasting kits, they're $600 and you can still buy them on our website. So buy them while stocks last. So meanwhile, I think we have time for some questions from our online friends. How's everyone doing? We would like to know if you guys have questions for Alex and Nelson's. They would be very happy to answer them for you. Any of you have questions for them? Gawai, you have questions?
Yeah, so I would like to know where is the museum, the Whiskey Museum? So we can, I think most of the audience would like to know where is the museum, then we can try and buy the different whiskey.
Yes, it's actually the cell, the place that we're at right now. Yeah, so you could come today, tomorrow, anytime in November and try whiskey. Thank you, Gawai, for reminding us. Thank you so much. Any more questions from our online friends? I remember Andrew said you love drinking Huadiao with the seafood, but Andrew, you got questions for Alex or Nelson?
Yeah, I want to ask Alex, how do you tell if it's a bottle of good gin?
Okay, Alex, how could you tell if it's a good quality of gin? How could you tell that?
Okay, so normally the benchmark for a traditional gin is whether or not there's a very nice, clean juniper flavor, because that's the most important thing. And then on top of that, is it well balanced with other botanical as well? Is it just juniper, or do you have complexity with like lemon and coriander and spices? Some people use different herbs. However, nowadays, it's a little bit different because you have a lot of different styles of gin out there. Really, this is very subjective now because a good gin now is whatever you like. But for myself, the main key things is complexity and balance. And if it's a good gin for both a gin tonic, very simple, or a gin cocktail.
Great. Thank you for the great tips, Alex, and thank you for your question, Andrew. I think we could take one more question from the chat box. It's from Fong Fong, and she would like to know any simple cocktail recipe for Huadiao. So,
okay.
Alex or Nelson?
Simply for Huadiao, then I like to treat it the same way as maybe sherry, right? So you have those really nutty notes. If you have the ingredients, one of my favorite sherry drinks is actually called the bamboo, which is a little bit of vermouth and a little bit of sherry. So it's kind of like a Manhattan, I guess you'd say, but with a fortified wine instead of whiskey, which is great because the ABV is much lower. Otherwise, I would not. It would be quite interesting if you just add a little bit of sweet and sour, so a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of honey, shake it up, and then you have a short drink, which is very complex and a good aperitif.
Great to know that. Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Nelson, for these wonderful tips and having such a good time with us. And I think in order to celebrate this incredible moment, we should have a toasting together. And for all of our online friends, let's have your glass ready and have a toast together, yeah? You ready? So let's do a toasting together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, cheers everyone!
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you so much for joining us today, and our tasting with Alex and Nelson has come to an end. Thank you once again, Alex and Nelson, for being with us today for this on-air tasting. And later on today at 3 p.m., an elite bartender, Agong, and wine tasting expert Eddie will join us for another on-air tastings. And the theme is Sustainable Cocktail Masterclass. So for those of you who have bought the tasting kits, have them ready and join us later. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us today. We have a wonderful time together, so we hope to see you soon again. So happy Sunday, everyone. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Roaming from streets to alleys, restaurants and bars, and to luxury cruise ships, experience the intoxicating moments of taste. Good wine and fine dining, unexpected new experiences are waiting for you. Hong Kong Wine and Dine Festival on-air tastings is held for 2 consecutive Saturdays and Sundays. Come join me. See you there. We have an exhilarating second week installed for you. How the flavor of whiskey and the umami of oysters match so perfectly. Our professional spirits educator and consultant Eddie and oyster expert Chris will expose some tasting secrets. Will the taste double up when roasted tea mixed with whiskey? Mixologist Yeston and whiskey expert Kenneth will demonstrate the duet of Hojicha cocktail. Gin and Huadiao, the new taste of East meets West, will be brought to you by our mixologist Alex and wine expert Nelson. How eco-friendly is the concept of sustainable bartending? Elite mixologist Agong and tasting expert Eddie will break it down for you. You will also enjoy live tasting and real-time interaction with all these masters. Watch live and on demand on one network, totally free of charge.